Today we have a very special video because Brett over on the UFD Tech channel was cool enough to invite me to his $300 used gaming PC build competition. So I'm going to show you what you can do with $300 here in the United States, and he's going to show you what you can do with $300 over in South Africa. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome to Zach's Tech Turf. For those of you coming over from the UFD Tech channel for the first time, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. If you want to see more PC hardware, PC building videos from me, then hit that subscribe button down below and also that notification bell. That way you never miss an episode. But yeah, for like the 6 of you that don't already know or follow the UFD Tech channel, let's let Brett quickly introduce himself and his $300 gaming PC build.
Hey friends over at Zach's Tech Turf, it's Brett from UFD Tech channel. We make videos about tech stuff. Anyways, Zach's better. Just make sure you're subscribed to him. So for this competition, I picked up this HP ProDesk. I don't even know what I got. HP ProDesk G2. It's got an i5 4590S. It's only got 4 gigs of RAM. I had to pick up a separate power supply, and I was able to pick up this Hall of Fame Galax graphics card. It's GTX 970. Not pretty sure that I need more RAM, but yeah. South Africa, not best pricing. I'm pretty sure Zach's gonna win this. Back to you, Zach. I'm awkward. I don't know what you want from me. I'm weird.
Alright, yeah, so make sure you guys go subscribe over to Brett and his YouTube channel and definitely watch his $300 gaming PC build. But for now, let's take a look at what I could do here in the United States and see what we're working with. This $300 used gaming PC build is based around the Dell Optiplex 9010, which I actually found for a really good deal on eBay for just 99 bucks. Right out of the box, this was a fully functioning PC by itself, which featured an i5 3570, which clocks up to 3.8 gigahertz. It also came with 8 gigabytes of RAM, but I had enough money to upgrade that, and it even came with a 1 terabyte HDD, which you usually don't find at this price range. Now, for those of you that have been subscribed to the channel for a while, you might be thinking that I cheated because this looks exactly like that Dell Optiplex that I featured in like 10 different videos now. But fear not, this is the Dell Optiplex that I used in all those videos, and this is the new one. As far as upgrades go, the first and major upgrade that I obviously had to do was get a beastly graphics card in there, and I actually found this XFX 8GB RX 480 for just a measly $126. Now I am a little bummed because I definitely could have squeezed a couple more dollars in my graphics card budget, but since I thought we had to include the price of shipping in our builds, I went with this. Make sure you watch Brett's video because he explained all about how he cheated. Moving on past that, however, the next upgrade I did was the power supply because we definitely had to get that stock one out of there. I actually went with this brand new EVGA 450 BT because A, the RX 480 has a minimum power supply rating of 450 watts on paper, and B, it definitely has enough voltage on the 12 volt line. Now some of you might think that this is cheating for a used build competition, but I honestly don't think it is. It's more of a disadvantage to pay full price for a part in a used PC building competition, but I think it's safe to say that both Brett and I stretched the rules a little bit on this one. Speaking of buying new parts, however, I also squeezed in a new 120GB SSD, and yes, I actually paid full price for this one as well, and it only cost me $21. Honestly, the reason why I bought both the power supply and the SSD new is because they're still priced pretty low, and I just don't like buying used power supplies or storage because you can definitely get some old duds that don't work sometimes. And finally, the last thing I did to this Dell Optiplex 9010 was upgrade the RAM, and I actually found this ghetto 4x4 gigabyte kit used on the last day before building. This was when Brett and I decided that we both weren't going to include the price of shipping in our builds, so I spent those last $20 to $25 on literally anything that I could find online, and I found this kit for a really good deal, so that was very lucky. So there you have it. That's what my $300 used gaming PC build is looking like with the parts list. I honestly don't think any of these parts are that crazy hard to find here in the United States, but I do understand that this always isn't the case in other countries, so make sure you check out Brett's video to see what happens on that side of the Atlantic Ocean. Before getting into the benchmarks, I just want to mention that Brett and I never planned for this to be a head-to-head super competitive build competition or anything like that. We simply wanted to build 2 $300 gaming PC builds so you guys could see the difference of what you could do with $300 here in the United States and what you could do with $300 over in South Africa. Moving on to the benchmarks though, the first game we tested was Rainbow Six Siege, and in 1080p with medium settings, my build managed to get a very solid 191 FPS average. Next up was was Far Cry 5, and in 1080p with the normal preset, aka medium settings, my build was able to squeeze out a very surprising 75 frames per second, which I was definitely happy with. Following that, we ran the somewhat old but still very solid built-in benchmarking tool with Shadow of Mordor. Shout out to those of you that were subscribed when this game was in my normal benchmarking run list, and here in 1080p and medium settings, I got an FPS average of 150. Next up was the challenging Shadow of the Tomb Raider. For this one, we put the settings at 1080p medium with DirectX 12 turned on, and here I averaged right above our target 60 FPS mark at 66. And finally, the last game on our benchmarking run was the insanely tough to run Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Make sure you check out my dedicated video for this one, by the way. And here in 1080p and medium settings, yet again, I averaged just a shy under that target 60 FPS mark. And to wrap up the benchmarking run, for those of you that are interested, my 3D Mark Time Spy score hit 3,921. Now, I'm sure most of you guys just noticed, we decided to keep every game at 1080p and medium settings and use a built-in benchmarking tool. With us being so far away, this was just the easiest way to keep all of our results consistent. I do want to mention that I did manage to get a small overclock out of my RX 480, which boosted my results a little. I only managed to increase it by about 5%, so nothing special on that end. With the results out of the way, I just want to give one final shout out and huge thank you to Brett and the guys over on the UFD Tech channel. I was super honored that they invited me to this $300 build competition, and I think that this was such a good idea to make this style of a video. On literally every single one of my budget gaming PC build videos, there's always people commenting that they can't buy whatever part at the price I got, or they complain that they don't have this website that I used in their country, or whatever. If you're one of those people, then definitely go watch Brett's video because he shows that it's still possible to build a great gaming PC for $300 in South Africa. Well, at least $300 before shipping, that is. Now, as far as who actually won the competition, like I said, we weren't trying to be super competitive or anything, but yeah, I did win. Like, I really won. This is a super baller budget gaming PC build, and I definitely kicked Brett's ass. Well, there you have it. That wraps up our $300 build competition between the United States and South Africa. Now, feel free to head on over to one of these two videos if you haven't seen them yet, and definitely hit Brett's subscribe button because he's got a lot of good videos coming soon. You don't want to miss those videos.